The chosen don't always recognize themselves right away. Sometimes they spend years feeling out of place, wondering if there's something wrong with them. But it's not a flaw, it's a mark. A mark of someone who carries a purpose greater than the ordinary. And that's why their journey tends to be deeper, more intense, more silent. There's a reason for all of this. The chosen do not seek the spotlight. They learn to live in the hidden place, where God whispers and shapes. They are forged in silence, prepared through tears, matured through trials. While many receive recognition for what they show, the chosen are remembered by God for what they endure. And even if no one sees it, heaven does. Nothing you've faced has gone unnoticed. You who are here now reading this have probably felt tired of fighting so much. You've wondered if it's worth continuing. But the fact that you're still standing is proof that there is something inside you that hasn't given up, that has a name: calling. You are not on the margins of the story. You are at the center of a promise, and that promise is about to manifest. The pain you've endured, the silences you've borne, the no's you respected, all will be rewarded. God has not forgotten you. He was simply preparing you for something greater. The time has come to see bloom what was watered with tears. The time has come to live what was promised. Welcome. I'm George, and this channel is a space made for people like you, who feel they've been set apart by God for something special. If this message touched your heart, follow the channel right now. Here, you will find words that strengthen, that confirm, and that remind you every day. You are a chosen one. A personal calling. This word is just for you. Breathe. Feel yourself present in this moment. Maybe you don't even know exactly why you're here, but something inside you brought you. It may have been curiosity, a strange feeling, or just that desire to hear something that made sense. Whatever it was, it arrived at the right time. This message carries something deep. It's personal. If possible, be in a quiet place, be alone. Forget your phone, the noise from the street, the outside voices. Silence the world for a few minutes. There is something happening inside you that deserves attention. It's not exaggeration nor pressure. It's sensitivity. You felt something move in your spirit, and that feeling brought you here for a reason. There are moments when the soul picks up on signals before the mind can understand. You know when something is different. You can't explain it with words, but you feel it. It's that light but persistent restlessness, a desire to understand what is still hidden. The calling doesn't come screaming, it whispers. And if you are hearing it now, it's because something in you was already prepared. There is something in you that the world hasn't been able to erase. A strength that insists on remaining, even after so many falls. You've already tried to fit in, tried to ignore that more sensitive side. But the feeling of being out of place doesn't go away. That's a sign that your path is different. And that difference was never a flaw. It was purpose. If no one has ever told you this before, listen now with your heart. You are not here to live an ordinary life. It's not pride, nor arrogance. It's calling. You feel that you've been set apart for something beyond what is seen. And even without knowing all the details, your spirit recognizes it. There is a spark in you that remains lit, even on the darkest days. You are not invisible to the one who chose you. Even if no one celebrated your small victories, even if no one wiped your tears, there was a gaze that never turned away. The gaze of the one who has known you since the womb, who saw you even before you understood what pain was, and who had already written your story when everything was still dark. The fact that you are still here, reading this, despite everything you've been through, is already living proof of what is being awakened. Maybe you're tired. Maybe you feel like you have no more strength. But listen carefully. You were chosen. And there is a reason for that. Everything that was planted in silence will one day bloom, and that time is coming. When no one saw, God saw. You know those times when the tears fell and you pretended it was just exhaustion. When your heart was screaming and you smiled on the outside because you couldn't stop everything to explain what was going on inside you. No one saw. No one asked. But God was there, in the silence of your room, in the tightness in your chest. Have you had nights when all you could do was cry while staring at the ceiling? And even without words, you still tried to talk to God in your thoughts. He understood. He read your sighs, interpreted your weeping, and heard what you couldn't even put into words. While everyone else slept, he stayed awake, watching, recording, keeping everything. There were moments when you obeyed, even without understanding. You gave up things you wanted because you believed it was the right thing, and no one applauded you. On the contrary, you were judged, pointed at, accused of being radical or foolish, but you stood firm. You made difficult choices, choices that only those who fear God have the courage to uphold, and that did not go unnoticed. The world values shine, applause, visible achievements, but heaven moves for hearts that remain firm in the hidden, and your heart has been tested like gold. You were tested in solitude, in silence, in pain. And in the midst of all of it, you didn't give up. Even while bleeding, you chose to keep going. There are pages of your story that only God has read. Chapters written with tears, short prayers, and fragile faith. But even so, faith. And that is enough. Because for God, an honest sigh is worth more than 1,000 empty speeches. He knows your intention, and that's what he honors. The sincerity of a broken heart that didn't stop trusting. There is a book with your name on it, and in that book is every detail that no one ever acknowledged. Every tear, every sacrifice, every act of kindness done without an audience. It's all there, kept, recorded with honor. Because the one writing your story is not chance, nor the eyes of others. It is God. And he brings justice with perfection. Believe this. Nothing was overlooked. No suffering was wasted. The parts of your life that seemed worthless are about to be revealed as the most precious. You have not been forgotten. You are watched with respect. And the time of reward is on its way. Heaven remembers what men ignored. And God is about to show just how much he saw. God's silence is work, not absence. At some moments in your journey, you've probably asked yourself, God, where are you? You prayed, waited, sought some kind of answer, but everything seemed quiet. Heaven gave no sign, and that silence felt like it was crushing you inside. But I want you to hear something that changes everything. God's silence was never absence. It was invisible movement. You know that pain you thought was punishment? That waiting you believed was forgetfulness? None of that came to punish you. It came to prepare you. What looked like stagnation was actually construction. It's like a tree being pruned. It hurts. It feels like loss. But it's what ensures it will bloom later. Yes, you were pruned. But you will bloom like never before. The Bible speaks about Hannah, a woman who wept so deeply before God that the priest thought she was drunk. But it wasn't drunkenness. It was deep pain. She couldn't even speak, only her lips moved. And even so, God heard. He saw her tears and turned her affliction into a miracle. The same thing is happening with you. Your pain is not being ignored. It's being turned into something greater. God is not silent because he forgot about you. He is silent because he is preparing the ground. He's taking care of the details, preparing the backstage, adjusting the timing. Because when he speaks, it will be with an answer, and you will understand that nothing was in vain. The waiting you endured will not be for nothing. There are things that can only be learned in silence. There are truths that are only revealed when everything else quiets down. God uses these moments to teach, strengthen, correct, and heal. And even when you thought you were alone, He never left you. He was just building inside and around you. The revelation that is coming is not small. That's why the preparation had to be intense. If the process was deep, it's because the promise is great. And now that you've made it this far, something new is about to be born. It may not be what you imagined, but it will be better, because it comes from the hands of a God who sees beyond. You didn't fail just because you doubted sometimes. You're not late just because you're still waiting. Every second of this journey was part of something greater. And when you look back, you'll see that even the silence had a sacred role. The time that seemed lost was growing roots. Now get ready. God is about to show you what He was building, while you thought everything had stopped. You were chosen, even if you don't understand everything yet. There are moments in life when everything seems meaningless. Losses that hurt too much, doors that close without explanation, people who leave without warning. And in the middle of all this, you ask yourself if there's something wrong with you. But I'm here to tell you, there's nothing wrong. There's just one truth that needs to be remembered. You were chosen. You are also being led along a path that seems confusing, but is exact. What today feels like a delay, tomorrow will be a testimony. You are not falling behind. You are being set apart for the right moment. God has not forgotten what He promised. His timing is different. But when He moves, everything changes at once. Maybe you think your time has passed, that you've lost too much time. But God doesn't go by your clock. He acts at the perfect moment. You have not been forgotten. You are being molded. Every tear, every sacrifice, every night you lay down feeling misunderstood. All of that is part of the preparation. And do you know why it hurts so much? Because it's real. The calling you carry is not just any calling. And that's why the process is heavier. You feel more, you perceive more, you live more intensely. But that is not a curse. It's spiritual sensitivity. And only those who have this sensitivity can carry the mission God gives. The questions you carry don't all have answers yet. But there will come a day when everything that seemed confusing will fall into place. You'll see the reasons clearly, and you'll understand that it wasn't luck nor coincidence. It was destiny. Your story is being written with purpose, and God is the author. Keep going, even without understanding, even with fear, even without strength, because there's a plan still in progress. Heaven knows who you are, and when the time comes, everyone else will know too. What God began in you, He will finish. And when He finishes, it will be greater than anything you ever imagined. The desert is a classroom. Have you ever wondered why you had to go through such difficult places? Why, instead of receiving quick answers, life seemed to lead you down long, dry, and lonely paths? That feeling of walking without direction has a name: desert. And the desert is not punishment. It is preparation. It's where the chosen ones learn what the palace never teaches. The desert has no audience, no applause, but it holds lessons that leave a lasting mark. It's in the silence of the desert that you learn to hear God's voice, without confusing it with the voices of the world. It's there that you discover who you really are. No titles, no compliments, no external support. Just you and God. And that's enough. Moses lived this. He grew up as a prince, with all the structure of Egypt. But before leading a nation, he had to spend 40 years in the desert, alone, tending sheep, without spotlights. It was during that time that he learned dependence, humility, and obedience. God used anonymity to turn him into a leader. And the same logic applies to your life. You may be in that process right now. Maybe you've lost people, opportunities, even your faith for a few moments. But even if everything seems disorganized, God is organizing you from the inside out. The desert breaks illusions, cleans the heart, and strengthens the soul. It doesn't last forever, but while it lasts, it transforms. David also went through the desert. After being anointed king, he didn't go straight to the throne. He was persecuted, hid in caves, ran for years. And it was in those hiding places that he wrote his deepest psalms. When everything around him was a threat, he learned to trust God. His desert became song. His pain became praise. Maybe you feel like you can't take it anymore. But up to now, you've already endured more than you thought possible. The resilience that was born in you during this hard time will be your weapon in the days of victory. Nothing will be wasted. Every tear, every sacrifice, every prayer whispered with a weak voice, all of it will be used. What the desert didn't take from you, it strengthened in you. Now that you understand, keep going. The end of the desert is the entrance to the promised land, and you are closer than you think. God doesn't take you from where you were to abandon you halfway. He is shaping you, and when everything is ready, He will take you to your destination. Until then, learn everything the desert wants to teach you. What the enemy tried against, you will become testimony. Have you noticed how intense the attacks against your life have been? How everything seemed harder for you than for others? It's not an exaggeration. There is a reason. Hell knew who you were even before you understood. That's why it tried everything to stop you. But it failed. Because what's inside you is greater than any opposition. The wounds you carry are not marks of defeat. They are scars of someone who survived. The enemy tried to silence your voice, destroy your identity, steal your hope. But you're still here. Maybe with a mended heart, but with your faith standing. And that alone is a miracle. You are living proof that His plan didn't work. The spiritual warfare you faced was real. It wasn't just against natural circumstances. It was against the promise God placed over your life. The enemy saw the potential, saw how many lives you could impact, how many people could be set free through your testimony. And it tried to stop you from getting here. But it couldn't. The falls you experienced didn't disqualify you. On the contrary, they brought you closer to God. While you tried to understand the reason for so much suffering, He was producing authority in you. Because only someone who has felt it in their own skin can speak with true understanding. And you know the pain. But now you will also know the healing. Every time you thought of giving up but kept going, it was like a seed being planted, and those seeds are about to bloom. What the enemy thought would bury you was actually fertile soil. And you are being born again, with more faith, more truth, more clarity. Your story will bring healing to others, and it all begins with your decision to continue. God is raising you up as a response. Where there was pain, there will be direction. Where there was confusion, there will be wisdom. And where there once seemed to be an end, there will be a new beginning. God's grace didn't abandon you. It sustained you through the worst days, and now it will take you further than you ever imagined. What was once a wound has become strength. What was once shame has become a key. You will be remembered not for what you suffered, but for what you overcame. The people who once doubted you will see what God will do. But more than proving something to others, you are about to live the confirmation of what you've always felt in your heart, that you were set apart for something greater. What was war is now testimony, and this is only the beginning. You walked a path that only the chosen understand. You went through deserts, silences, losses, and processes that seemed unfair. But now, as you look back, You begin to realize there was an invisible thread guiding you. Nothing was in vain. No time was wasted. Everything was part of the plan. And that plan is being revealed before your eyes. Maybe up until today you've carried many doubts. Was it really worth it to stay firm? Did God really see every tear? But now something inside you knows. Yes, it was worth it. He saw it. He closely followed every moment no one else witnessed. And he didn't leave you there to die. He left you there to bloom at the right time. The time of your pain is turning into a time of revelation. What you lived in secret will be repaid with peace, with presence, with purpose. It won't just be about receiving something, but about becoming someone even stronger. Your journey up to here has been marked by silence, but the next phase will be marked by fulfilled promises. You weren't chosen to live in obscurity. You were set apart to be a sign of hope amid the chaos. While the world chases after empty achievements, you are being prepared to carry something eternal. The anointing upon you can't be bought, copied, or explained. It's the fruit of a real journey with God. There were days you thought it had all been in vain, but heaven never lost sight of your heart. It was watched with respect, shaped with patience, and is now being activated with purpose. It doesn't matter how much they try to stop you, discredit you, or make you doubt yourself. What God chose cannot be undone. If there's a reason you've endured up to now, that reason is calling. Something inside you kept insisting, even when everything else said to quit. And now you understand. It was God preserving what He Himself planted. It was Him preventing you from giving up on something that was still going to bloom. And that time to bloom has arrived. Your journey was different because your destiny will be too. What others experienced quickly, you experienced deeply. And that gave you roots, gave you discernment, gave you maturity. Now you are ready. Ready to take on with courage what has been entrusted to you. Ready to live not just for yourself, but to touch lives around you. Everything that seemed like delay will now become a sign. You are the reflection of a God who does not give up, who honors the faithful, and who fulfills what He promises. You are the reminder that hope exists, that the invisible has value, that being chosen is a path of surrender, but also of great harvests. Now that you've made it this far, I want to ask you something. Leave in the comments what touched your heart the most in this message. Your response may confirm something in someone else's heart. It could be a word, a sentence, or a simple, "I receive." But don't hold back from sharing. You are part of something greater, and this journey is just beginning.